You can see an award-winning film in Cincinnati this weekend. Hello Beautiful is based on a fictional book called Walk Beside Me. And the author, Christine Handy, is also the film's executive producer. She's here with surgical oncologist Kelly McLean from Christ Hospital to give us a sneak peek. And Kelly is also involved with Move Beyond Surviving, which we'll talk about too. Ladies, thanks for coming in today. Christine, let me talk to you first. Your book was a work of fiction, but it was really based on a difficult time of your life, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It was based on my cancer diagnosis. I started modeling when I was a child, and so for most of my life, my dependency was external and what I look like on the outside. And then I was diagnosed with breast cancer and had 28 rounds of chemo. I was 90 pounds wet and no hair anywhere on my body, and you really start to figure out your worth when you're down to nothing. And when I rebuilt my life on different tenets, faith and self-care, instead of being so dependent on external, I realized that I wasn't the only one that felt lonely in my illness. And maybe if I could write a book about the transformation from being very dependent on external things to being very dependent on faith and self-care and self-love, then maybe that would impact other people. And wouldn't it make a splash if I actually wrote the book, and maybe it would become a film someday, because when we are diagnosed with an illness, typically we seek out stories. And when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I sought out a lot of movies and TV shows about breast cancer, and I was disappointed and maybe more fearful, because the outcomes on a lot of the movies end in a funeral. And I thought, that's not showing survivorship.
Right, and this movie has already won some awards. It came out in the spring.
Yeah.
What has it been like for you to see your book turned into this beautiful work of art, and people are really responding to it?
Well, I believe that the mission is coming to fruition. The mission is to show survivorship, but also to show hope in film. And so for me, it's validating, but the people that I believe need to see it are fortunately going to be able to see it, and that's what means the most to me. The ironic thing is I really wanted this movie made for the patients. So, because when you're a patient, it's a very lonely experience to go through illness. And ironically, the medical community has been championed for this film and also wants to be a part of it, wants to promote it, because they're seeing a lot of the things in the movie that maybe they didn't see in their own practice.
Yeah, Kelly, let's talk about that. You're a surgical oncologist, but you're also involved with Moving Beyond Surviving, which is to build up people and help them take trips and do things when they're going through the toughest time of their life. How does something like this help your job and help you build up other people who are facing a diagnosis?
Yeah, so Move Beyond Surviving is for people after they've finished treatment, and it's about regaining their sense of self and about reconnecting and finding a place in the world and rediscovering who they are. So Christine's story reflects the experiences of everyone going through treatment, and so it's been great to partner with her, and we're very excited to have her movie and her here to show people really what it's like to go through treatment and get diagnosed with a life-threatening illness.
What did you think when you watched the movie? Since you deal with, you're dealing with people who are facing this terrible diagnosis and the loneliness that Christine said that she felt. How did you feel when you watched the movie?
So I haven't watched the movie yet. I'm waiting to see it on Sunday.
On the big screen.
On the big screen, yeah. But Christine and I have, we met in Miami, and we've had lots of discussions about like her experiences and her, and what she's been through.
Can you tell me about a touching reaction maybe that you got from someone who has seen the movie, Christine, before we have to give the event details?
Yeah, there's so many, but it's funny. Like I said, I really wanted this movie for the patients, but we had a screening in St. Louis, and it was filled with the medical community. And so many of the medical community, oncologists or radiologists, came up to me and said, we don't understand what goes on outside of these hospital walls. We don't see the impact on the families. We don't see the impact on the patient necessarily. And so thank you for this teaching moment for us. And so that to me is like an added bonus. Great, we get to help the medical community. this is really, it's a powerful way to help people and bridge the communities between the medical community and the patients, because they're different.
Yeah, and I hope help families too. My mother's a breast cancer survivor, so yeah, it's really, it's everybody involved.
Absolutely.
So I want to give you the event details. The 20th Century Theater on Sunday is where you can see this movie. The VIP seats are sold out, but there are still some seats left, only $20. The doors open at 2:30, the movie begins at 3, and then Christine is going to do a Q&A right there in person after the movie. So it sounds like it's going to be a beautiful day. Kelly and Christine, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us today.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.